All right. Well, welcome everyone. My name's Trisha Albricks and my husband Eric and I live in Arizona. And we are so excited to be talking with you tonight about a company that has blessed our lives in an industry that has changed it forever. To take you back about 30 years ago, I was in pre-med. I was studying and wanted to be in a career where I could help people, where I could make a difference and bless their lives, and also bless my own and my family's and be able to travel and really experience life on the level that I had always dreamed of. So I was going down that path, and thank goodness I was given some advice that literally forever changed the way that I look at things. And it was to look at the fruit on the tree before you go too far down the path. And so I did that. I started interviewing people that were in the different medical fields I was considering. And one by one, I had to knock them each off my list because it just didn't match up with what I was hoping to accomplish in my own personal life. Ultimately, I wanted to be a mom. I wanted to be a good stay-at-home mom and be able to raise my children. And I was hoping to be able to come out of the field for a little while and raise my kids and then go back into the field, and realized very quickly that wasn't going to be a possibility with any of the different fields of medicine that I looked at. So my husband and I were in traditional jobs, had regular 9 to 5s, and soon realized that wasn't going to cut it for us. So we became self-employed, and he did a lot of the work, and I did all the phone calling and the setting of appointments and the taking care of clients and payroll and all of the different behind the scenes. And it really was not what either of us wanted. We never saw each other, and he never saw the kids. As we started to have a family, he was gone before they would get up and coming home after they were in bed. And it just wasn't what we had hoped for. So we went from being struggling as employed to struggling as self-employed, just broke at a higher level. And that wasn't what we wanted either. But we learned an important lesson while we were self-employed. We were in and out of a lot of different homes. My husband Eric had a lot of very wealthy clientele, and they all would just leave him a key and a check at the time, back in the day when checks were the thing. And he never saw them. And it didn't seem to matter uh, what they did. He also saw something interesting that I want to just mention. He would go into two different lawyers' homes, and one lawyer would have beautiful, fine furnishings, and the other one would have an empty shell of a home. He would go into two different Intel employees, and same thing. One would be very wealthy, and one would just have the nice house and just struggling to furnish it. And what he found is that the ones that really had it put together, it's all coming down to who they knew and when they knew that person and what they did with it. So that was another nugget that we gained. So keep that in mind. We'll come back to that. So back to the first one with the people that were never home. There were consistently a few clients that were always home, that were always there. They paid him in cash, and a lot of times they'd pull out a huge wad of cash to pay him. And he started asking them, what do you do? Why are you always home with your family and playing with them on the floor and have not a care in the world when I'm here? And found out that consistently they were all in this industry called network marketing. So whether you love it or you hate it, or you've never done it, or you've been wildly successful, or you've tried it and you haven't been successful, whatever your background is, we realized really quickly that you could make it really big in this industry. So if you haven't had your chance, I'm going to talk to you tonight about why that might be and how you can turn the tables and how you can have your chance. But we tried our hand at network marketing, and we didn't really see success for the first number of years. We tried and didn't really know what we were doing. We didn't have a good mentor that was close by. All of our uplines seemed to always be over 1,000 or more miles away, and we really didn't know what we were doing. But over about 10 years time, we learned through hard knocks and trying and failing, we failed our way into success. So we're here to show you a better way so you can have a shortcut and not have to go through those hard knocks. But we did figure it out. And after about 10 years, we got into a company and did the right things, did them long enough to be able to succeed. And I remember that day very well when my husband came home and had had a frustrating day at work. And I was actually in tears over the computer, looking at our check, looking at what had happened to our team, and so excited to be able to look him in the eye and tell him, honey, if you don't want to go to work tomorrow, you don't have to, or the next day or the next day. And within about 10 minutes, he'd called a neighbor who was looking for a job and offered him our business and never went back to work. And I will remember that day for the rest of my life. It was over 17 years ago. He retired when he was just 35 years old, and we still had two very young children. We had just had our fourth, and our two youngest kids don't remember Dad ever having a job. That industry and that day changed our lives forever. Well, very quickly, we decided that we wanted to join a company where our hearts could really feel at home. And we found ourselves in a company that literally satisfied all the boxes that I was looking for those 30 years ago. We found a way to help people, and we found a way to make a difference in their lives medically, and we found a way to be able to inspire their lives with better hopes and dreams and positive influence, and we found a way to help them make income. And to date, we've helped hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of families retire, making over $10,000 a month. So not only has it changed our lives, but it's changed so many hundreds of lives along the path. We also learned, though, that it matters what company you're with, because we've been to the top of two at this point, both of which we found out over time were being captained by someone other than who we thought they were. Turned out to be more pirates than captain. And who runs the company is so important, because what we found is that their desires and hopes were more based on greed and plundering, and they didn't care who they hurted their path. I know that sounds really blunt, but that's what we were seeing, is that people were getting hurt and checks were being affected, decisions were being made that were affecting compensation plans and things that were unethical. And if you've ever been in a company where any of that went on, we understand. We've been there, and we had to walk away. That's not what we ever wanted to sign up for. So we learned a long time ago that integrity is one thing and money's another. And if they can't coexist, then it's not the right place for us. So we looked long and hard. It took us 3 years to find this company that I want to talk to you about. It's called Activz, and Activz has checked every single box for us. The people running the company are available and knowledgeable and transparent and full of integrity. They're reachable. David Brown, who is our CEO, we've actually had the pleasure of working with before. He helped us make a 7-figure income before the board of directors squeezed him out because of some of those things that we talked about. And now we get to work with him again. Ryan Thompson, we've known for almost 20 years. He's the president of the company. We love him and his family. We love his energy and his expertise and his knowledge, and we love his integrity. We could not be in better hands. There's no one else that has access to the steering mechanism of this company. We're in really good hands by people that will guard it with their lives and will make sure that this company gets to the very, very top, whatever that might look like, blessing as many lives along the way as we can. So we're in good hands with the company. We're in great hands with the timing. We learned a long time ago, it matters what timing when you get into a company like this. If it's word of mouth, it does matter when you hear about it. You don't want to be the last one on your block to hear about it. Word of mouth travels fast when something's amazing. So the faster you can hear about it, the better. We learned early on that about the first 150,000 people are considered ground floor, and I've heard that number vary just a little bit over the years, but that's considered ground floor. So this company, Activz, started in Mexico in 2017 and then flowed down into Bolivia and Peru and Colombia, the Dominican Republic, and it's just recently been starting to go through the United States. So what does that mean when there's just a few thousand people in? I think you're more in the foundation or the footings. I don't even think we've hit the ground floor yet. I think we're literally just pounding the footings. So your timing could not be better. We are literally in the culture creating portion of this company. We get to bring in good people, hopefully arrogance free and greed free. We want to be able to make sure that this company is not only solid in the corporate level, but also from the field. We want the feeling and the culture and the family oriented feeling here at this company to be a rising tide that lifts all ships, that makes sure that everyone has an equal playing ground, and that everyone that wants to and puts in the work can be successful. So that's our timing. Really, really good. Be grateful that the person who invited you to this told you about it right now at this time before anyone knows. And then the products are so important because the products are the backbone of the company. And if you have something that's a trend that's going to be here today and gone tomorrow, it's not going to last. We wanted a company that would be around for generations and generations. And what we found is that they have created a product base here at this company that's so unique. They are proprietary and consumable, all the things that we look for. They're products that you can't get anywhere else. And yet the company is constantly evolving. David Brown gets approached weekly, if not daily, by companies and doctors and scientists that want Activz to represent their product. And he gets to pick and choose and be very, very picky about finding the very, very best. So we are a science forward company. And yet because of that, he knows that science is always changing. So they're always on the lookout for the latest and greatest in science. What that's done for us is that we really don't have a flagship product. We have flagship products. And I've never before seen this, but we have groups within our team that some of them are individually building with a single product. And I can name literally off the top of my head people that are using every single individual product as their own flagship product. We have cosmetologists that are using our amazing Emora skincare line, and that's their whole focus. We have other groups that are really championing our Arrow, which is an energizing drink that gives us a sustained energy throughout the day and actually helps speed up our metabolism and turn the white fat into brown fat and really help curb our cravings and make us feel satiated and full. It's an amazing product. So we have whole groups that are just championing that one. But the ones that I want to talk to you about today are what we call our trifecta. Our trifecta are products that I literally will never go without because they have so dramatically changed my life and the lives of the people that we've shared them with. The first I want to talk to you about is called Link. And it's called Link because of the link that the doctors are finding between the brain and the gut. Those areas of the body are much more closely linked than we had any idea. And they're so critical to the whole foundation of the health of our bodies. So Link actually is butyric acid that is a food. It's a short chain fatty acid that the cells inside of our body need to eat to survive. So it feeds those endothelial and epithelial cells that are inside of our body and helps to fortify our organs, fortify our brain, fortify our whole digestive tract, which may not sound like much, but when you stop to think about it, how many people do you know that have a gut or brain issue? Almost everybody I know has some brain fog. And so many of us are suffering from things like depression, which is a hormone depletion. Well, Link actually speeds up the production of dopamine and serotonin, which helps everybody feel a little bit happier. And those that are really fighting the demons, it helps clear them out pretty much overnight. We've seen it over and over and over. We've seen it help kids that are on the spectrum to be able to all of a sudden move up on the spectrum several levels. We've seen kids that were completely shut down from social that want to now be in the center of attention. We've seen kids that didn't have any retention skills that can now test and take tests in a school situation and have retention and remember what they read. We've seen kids that were not talking that are now speaking to their parents, or kids that were one-word responses that are now forming sentences. We've seen so many blessings. I've heard that with the growing problems that are happening with the diet and the situation that we're all in, they expect within the next 5 years that 1 in 3 babies that are born will be on the spectrum. So that just tells me there's not only a need for this product, there's an absolute outcry for this product, and people don't know what it is and they don't know how to find it. So it's up to us to spread the word, to be able to help these kids to be able to grow and thrive within a normal society. And then there's the rest of us. 7 out of 10 of us have holes in our gut. Kind of a scary thought. Some of it just manifests as allergies, and sometimes it manifests as badly that people have to wear a diaper. And we've seen people come out of that in 3 days. Guys, let's give people back their dignity. Let's give them back the ability to eat normal food without chasing it with some sort of an antacid. Let's give people back a normal dietary function. It also helps feed the whole microbiome in your gut. There's probiotics in it, prebiotics in it, and this amazing butyric acid. So why, if this is such a big deal, why isn't it everywhere? You might be asking yourself that. Well, butyric acid has a very unique smell, and that smell makes it really hard for people to take it normally. But our scientists are amazing We actually have a patent pending process that wraps molecularly every molecule of the butyric acid and masks the smell. That means we don't have to alter it. There are other products on the market that say that they're butyrate or most of them are called sodium butyrate. They've actually had to alter it to make it palatable. Ours is pure butyric acid that time releases in the digestive tract for the best absorption. That's our link. The next one I want to talk to you about is Optimend. Optimend comes from the turmeric plant, which in our studies through helping people nutritionally, we know is one of the best natural anti-inflammatories in the world. What we didn't know until quite recently is that it was a really large molecule and it's hard for the body to absorb it. So the doctors have broken it down and now you're starting to see more curcumin on the shelves. That comes from the turmeric plant. It's a little bit smaller, but still too big to be easily metabolized by the body. So our product is tetrahydrocurcumin. It's 4 molecules of that curcumin from the turmeric that are the most potent part. So we have that wrapped again in our molecular wrapping so that it doesn't get eaten alive in the stomach. It's so small and so delicate. If we didn't take care of it, it would be destroyed. But because of this special patented process, it gets through safely to the intestines where it can be absorbed, metabolized, and literally you can feel that pain relief as inflammation is lowered, sometimes as early as 30 to 45 minutes. I love this product. When I get a headache or I overdo it, we had a massive storm come through. When I got home from my trip, I had a lot of storm cleanup and my back was really bothering me. It's so nice to be able to go take a couple of Optimend and not have to run to something over the counter or even worse, something that's pharmaceutical that's going to do harm to the rest of my body. The side effects that come from these pain medications is ridiculous, and yet it's over a $40 billion industry. So that's $40 billion worth of stuff that we need to get the word out and show people there's a better way. Optimend is available. It doesn't have any harmful side effects, and it is going to lower the inflammation. So it's going to help the acute inflammation that we feel. It's also going to affect the chronic inflammation that's inside of our bodies that we can't feel. But that inflammation leads to horrible diseases and sometimes things that can kill us, like cancer or leading to a heart attack or a stroke, things that seemingly come out of the blue. And yet that inflammation has been building up every time we had any stress, every time we had any kind of a virus, every time we were around any kind of substance that shouldn't be in our body, be it a chemical, be it a preservative, be it something in the water or the air. We're all around toxins all the time, and all of those things leave behind inflammation building up in our body. So without Optimend, we're pretty much a walking time bomb. Okay, maybe that's a little bit too much, but that's the reality of it. We all know people that have seemingly been in good health and all of a sudden dropped from a heart attack or a stroke. Well, if you could see inside the body, it's not a mystery. It's because that inflammation has been building up. So Optimend is going to take care of the inflammation we feel and that we don't. So it's critical that we take it every single day. I take both of those as religiously as I eat food and drink water because I know what they're doing for my body. The third that I take every single day without fail is called genomics. I've had the blessing of working with the doctor behind it for over 10 years, and it's changed my life. I was diagnosed with 2 autoimmune diseases, and today I don't even think about them. There's so much just a past memory that I don't have to even really pay attention to them in my life. This product is a NRF2 activator. And if you're not familiar with NRF2, NRF2 is a protein in our body that we have in every single cell inside of our bodies. And it is like the master regulator. It is the protein that acts like the conductor that comes in and fine tunes all the instruments and then leads them in this symphony to make everything sound beautiful and work perfectly within our bodies. Kids have that protein working perfectly until about, I don't know, somewhere between the ages of 20 and 40, it starts to slow down or stop entirely. Well, I can tell you, my conductor, my protein went to sleep at 28 because that's when both of my autoimmunes hit. That's when everything started to go sideways in my body. And if that protein had been on doing its job, that wouldn't have happened. And I know when I started to activate that protein again, everything cleaned up in my body and my life and started to work more perfectly. Today, at almost 50, I feel better than I did in my 20s. And I know that there are people watching this that are much older than I am that are claiming the same thing. And the beauty of it is when you get that NRF2 protein activated within about 4 weeks of being on the product, I hope that's not too loud. I've got jets really low over my house. Within about 4 weeks of being on a NRF2 activator, you're going to be able to test blood. And we don't encourage everybody to do this, but this is what the studies show, that if you take people's blood at different ages of their life and they're not on that protein activator, you can tell at a glance whose is whose, because the oxidative stress of the blood gets progressively worse as we get older. And oxidative stress is the #1 cause of disease and malfunction in your body. So being able to lower that oxidative stress, being on a NRF2 activator, ours lowers at 40 to 70% and holds that pathway open 10 times longer than the product that we were first with 10 years ago. But literally it gets all of those things back into balance. So is it going to make you look like you're 17 again? Probably not, but it might make a little difference. People do notice when I'm around groups of people my own age, they make comments. And I just have my little secret. I'm on a NRF2 activator and I plan on staying young forever. I hope that I will always feel young, even if the rest of my body slowly goes down that aging trail. But that's what we all want, isn't it? To be able to live as long as we can and then go to sleep peacefully. That's what we're seeing with this product. And I don't know that it'll happen for everybody that way, but so far since we got involved with Activz, the few people that we've known that have been on it that have passed away in their sleep. It doesn't mean nobody's going to have a car accident or something sudden, but it's been amazing to me to see how peacefully and without the suffering. It's just amazing. Like I said, I don't know if that's going to be across the board because we're fairly new in this company. We don't have a huge crosshair to look at of people that have passed away. Most of them are still living a very good life and have improved in how they're feeling. And that's what we want to see. So what it does is it reactivates and turns back on all the genes and enzymes that were running properly when we were young that decide to go haywire as we get older. Some are overproducing, which causes autoimmune diseases, and some are underproducing, which causes all sorts of disease. For example, SOD, superoxide dismutase, is one of the enzymes that goes to sleep as we get older. And by activating that and turning it back on again with NRF2, we're able to kill over 1 million free radicals every second. Okay, let me put that into human, like normal terms, because that's a deep science study all of a sudden. You've all probably heard of antioxidants. Antioxidants are great. They're in certain foods and fruits and superfoods, we call them, and they're good for taking out free radicals. Well, they were a big craze a few years ago. You could see antioxidant enrichment on almost everything. Well, what they didn't tell us, or maybe what they didn't know, is that by eating antioxidants, they only kill 1 free radical. It's a 1-to-1 basis, and then it's all done. But when you can activate that superoxide dismutase molecule, it acts like Pac-Man, and it goes in and it eats 1 million every second. That's like fighting a fire with a thimbleful of water, because water puts out fire, right? 1-to-1. Or coming in with a fire hose that's constantly going. That's what we want. So it's putting out that fire within our bodies. It's helping the body to regulate and balance, helping the things that are overproducing to settle down, and helping the people, the things that have gone to sleep, to wake back up and do what they're supposed to do. That's genomics, and I will not miss a day with that one either. So these 3 products, we call them the trifecta because of their amazing ability to impact the body. One is lowering oxidative stress, one is lowering inflammation, the 2 biggest causes of disease, and one is feeding the cells and helping the cells to be at their best, helping strengthen our brains, strengthen our whole immune system and digestive tract. Absolutely incredible product line. And like I said, they're constantly looking at new science, and they will be right on the cutting edge as long as I know David's in charge. That's one of his passions. So the products couldn't be better. We're satisfying the trends. We're allowing people to make money from home, money from wherever they are. And this is the first company we've ever been involved with that's considered an omni-channel company. They're championing a whole new look at network marketing, because not only can we be paid by the people that we enroll and bring on as business partners, which is pretty typical, we can also be paid for the customers that we bring on, Also typical, but their program's amazing. I'll tell you in just a minute. And we also get paid by any Amazon sales because this company has partnered with Amazon and made it impossible for anybody to go on and dump product at a lower price, which has been a problem with some of the companies we've looked at. But here, Activz actually has a contract with Amazon. They sell the products at a higher price. So if people want to pay a more of a retail price and buy them, they can. And then the difference pays into our bonus structure. So if people are buying it in a place that they want to buy it, maybe they don't feel comfortable buying from network marketing, but they'll trust Amazon. They won't trust their neighbor, but they'll trust Amazon. Yeah, there's a few of those out there. I've run into a couple of them myself. And if that's the case, fine, that's great. Order from Amazon. I'm still going to get some credit. And you can too. They take all of that and share it among the people that are building at a $10,000 volume or higher. So it's a beautiful system. So how does the money pay? Yes, we get paid for bringing on partners. As you bring on distributors, you're going to get paid 20% by bringing on by bringing on distributors for the first month, and then 10% for everything that they order after that. You're also going to get paid 4 more levels down as they bring people on. So the fast start is what we call it, the enrollment bonus. Every time you bring someone in, or they bring someone in, or they bring someone in down 5 levels, you're going to get paid the following Friday. That means every Friday, as long as you've got momentum going in your group at a high level, you're going to get paid every single Friday on a piece of those signups. That's exciting. You might go on vacation and you come home and there's a check. You might, get sick or have something happen that takes your direction a little bit different direction, but you're still getting paid because you started the ball rolling and they are keeping the ball rolling. It's such a great, exciting thing to have payday be every Friday. Then the bigger checks, the residual checks from their follow-up orders, because let's face it, if you get on a product that changes your life, you definitely want to be on a subscription. You definitely want that to come automatically to your house every month so that you never run out. So when they order the next month or the next month or the next month, that bonus pays down 8 levels deep of compressed. So we've literally been able to be paid down 92 levels, I think is the one that we calculated when we stopped and really added it up at one point. You could get paid quite deep in a compensation plan like this because it compresses and pays some of those upper and deeper bonuses up to the leaders that are growing. It's a different story and a different discussion for a different day. But if you don't understand dynamic compression and you want to really understand the compensation plan, get with one of the leaders or go on to activz.info and you can watch the president of our company, Ryan Thompson, who wrote the comp plan, explain it. So there's lots of different ways. Activz.info has a section on the compensation plan that's pretty thorough. So the customer bonus that I told you about is really incredible. It's the strongest one we've ever seen in 30 years. They pay you 20% on every customer you bring in forever. So every customer that you bring in and every order from every customer you bring in is 20%. Most companies pay 20 to 40% on the first month. And then the next month it drops to like 2 to 5%. And it stays that forever. Well, in this company, that 20% every single month really adds up. So it's great to have 3 or 4 or 5 customers on the side. We still spend most of our time looking for business-minded partners because they're the most fun to build with. They're excited about changing their finances and changing their life and changing the lives of others. And they're helping us champion the cause to get these products into people's homes and make a difference in their lives. And so we love looking for business-minded people, but the customers can bring in fast cash into your house. So if you've got somebody coming in that needs to make extra money quickly, that's a good way to start and just bring in some money that's going to come in very, very fast. They have a car bonus. They have trip bonuses. They have a profit sharing bonus that is 10% of all of the volume done by the entire company. So if you wish that you had Peru in your downline, or you wish you had more of Mexico in your downline, or even Japan that's getting going, or Taiwan that's getting going, if you want to have access to all of those different countries and more, because we're allowed to do business in over 200 countries, we just haven't begun to hardly scratch the surface yet. I think we're at like 8. So we have a long way to go to get to those 220. We're trying to do it fiscally and responsibly. But as that happens, you can literally take part in a percentage of all of that volume as the company grows. So like I said earlier, you need to be at a $10,000 volume through your group or higher to be able to start to take participation in that. And it's a percentage of a percentage. So they're going to take 1% of all of the volume done and share it among anyone that's at that 10,000 in volume or higher in the company. So it's going to be a small percent shared among quite a few people. And right now we're a small company, so it might only be $100. I don't even know what it is, but it might be small. But when we're doing hundreds of millions of dollars or $1 billion, that 1% shared is going to be dramatically larger. So I like to look at the long term of this and where it's going. And it's amazing to be able to get anything off of every bottle sold in the world. Can you imagine some of the bigger brands that you're familiar with if you had ability to do that? If you had ability to take even a nickel off of every product sold of a particular kind, that could be literally generational wealth. That's what we're talking about here. As you grow to the next level, you get to take part in 2%, and the next level you get to take part in 3%, and so on. And then that takes up 8% of it. They take the other 2% and put 1% into a special timed bonus for the people that grow out of the gate really fast and grow to a level of A11 at $75,000 in volume within their first year. And those people will be able to take part in that bonus, sharing 1% of all of the company volume forever. That's like having a Christmas bonus every single month. It's really a special program to be part of. And then they take that last 1% and put it at the top level. So once you're doing the $1 million in volume and you are what we call an A16, you get to take part in that 1% forever. Right now, it's being shared between 2 people. That's exciting. That's like a 5-figure bonus for them every single month, just even at the small level that we're at in the company. And as the company grows, that's going to grow bigger and bigger and bigger. So you want to position yourself for those profit sharing bonuses. They also have point bonuses where if you order certain things on your subscriptions, you can earn loyalty points, and they have all sorts of fun things. They have a bonus called the promotions and incentives, and every single month it's changing. They have a 500 club bonus. That's a timed bonus that if you bring in 10 people within your first 90 days, they're going to give you an extra $500 or an iPad or $750 worth of product you choose. There's so many different ways that this company pays, and it's just an incredible, well-rounded opportunity. They designed the compensation plan to help the average person in Mexico make an extra $300 to $500, but they also have it built in that as leadership, you can make the moon. We've literally drawn it out to where you can make 6 or 7 figures a month if you so desire. And we can have those conversations with the people that are really wanting to see the bigger numbers. The bottom line is this company is making a difference. Who do you know that needs to have their brain strengthened or have a happier day or be able to act in a better way in social anxiety or social environments? Who do you know that needs to be able to have more attention and be able to focus better in their day? Who do you know that has anything in their background from their parents or their grandparents that might lead to something that could cause them suffering or death? Any kind of diseases that might be in their genetic makeup that might want to take and go down a different path? Who do you know that would like to work from home and be able to make a CEO type income? Who do you know that wants to travel more or have control of their life to where they can be a caregiver for a family member, or they can hire a caregiver to help with a family member so they can get a little bit more freedom in their life and be able to get some downtime or some me time once in a while? Who do you know that would like to have more control of their time or be a stay-at-home mom or dad? I remember having this conversation early on, and my husband kept saying, but I want to be a stay-at-home dad too. You want to be a stay-at-home mom. I want to be a stay-at-home dad. And he has loved that for the last almost 20 years. So who do you know that would like to have that time control? Who do you know that would like to be able to retire? A lot of people don't have that planned anymore because they just can't figure out a way to be able to stay ahead of inflation and taxes and not work. So a lot of people I talk to just plan on working till they die. And guys, that is not a plan. It's not a plan. It's not a good plan. So we have a plan for people if they're looking for a way. So if you're looking at anyone that you know that wants to be able to improve and activate their life, Activz was the answer for us and for so many others. As you're looking at this, I'm hoping that you're seeing it in one of three categories, that you're either seeing a way that you can change your finances, that you can be in business for yourself, and you can impact people's lives. And maybe that drives you like it drove me. Or maybe you just want to try the products. Maybe you just want to be able to take back control of your health, be able to get on top of something that's been a problem, or maybe divert from something that might be lingering in your future, based on the past, right? We can see from grandpa and grandma or mom and dad's markers and maybe know what's maybe lying down the path and you want to take that down a different path. Maybe you just want to be a customer. That's fine. We love being, with customers, and we love the customer program. So if that's your desire, that's fine too. Or if neither of those appeal to you, I hope that at the very least you'll thank the person that brought you here and that you'll say, yes, I'll be a pointer. Okay, what does that mean? That means that as you find people that need to make more money, that need to be able to keep up with the cost of rising groceries, that you'll point them in the direction of the person that showed you this tonight. Or if you find somebody that has any kind of an ailment or frustration with their health and they're sick and tired of putting more medicine into their bodies, or the doctors really aren't coming up with an answer, we don't have to be doctors here. We simply put the right nutrition back into the body and let the body be the answer. Point them in the direction of the person that told you about this and let them get some answers. So whatever it is, we're glad that you spent time with us tonight. Get back with the person that told you about this and let them know, I'm going to be a pointer in your direction. I want to be a customer, or I want to be a distributor with you. Thanks for being with us tonight, guys. Have a rest of a wonderful holiday. And thank you for being with us. Get back with the person that told you about this. Good night, everyone.